always override the thoughts of human perspective. For our ways are not his ways and our thoughts are not his thoughts. But it's a whole different ballgame to hear a declaration not from man, but from Jehovah, who tells you through his prophet, you need to make preparation since you will live and not die. For whenever God says it, that settles it. However, Hezekiah also knew that faith without works is dead. And since he was so close to death, he used his moment to his advantage. In the same faith as Jairus. But notice, although Hezekiah was close to death, he wasn't dead yet like Jairus' daughter. And even though he knew that God meant what he said, Hezekiah still chose to use faith. Sometimes we have to take a leap, church, and Hezekiah knew this. That's why he didn't want to wait until the next hour or the next day, because he could have been dead within the next few seconds. And by then, it would be way too late. This proves that, my God, you can always depend on God. But this is one thing you can't do. Sometimes you can't always wait on the change, because sometimes you have to be the change in order to see the change. You can't depend on God when he's telling you to move. He can't move until you until you accept what he's telling you to do. You cannot reap what he's getting ready to bless you with. You have to at least take that step, and then he'll move. He already has everything prepared. He already has everything planned. He already has everything laid out. But if you don't open your mouth, if you don't move your finger, if you don't do what he tells you to do, I don't care what type of hell you think you're going to get. If you don't do it, you're going to be sitting in the same place for the next 10 years. For example, when God struck Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham could have waited on God's verdict to take place, which was the fact that all of the city would be destroyed due to their unrepentance. But if Abraham would have waited that long to speak up for his nephew, Lot and his daughters would have perished with the rest of the city. Which brings me back to Hezekiah. He could have easily chosen to let go and let God. But realizing that this wasn't the time for that, he turned to the wall, assumed the position, and prayed in desperation. Sometimes when you're in desperation, or when you're in depression, or when you're in anxiety, because those are real things that people are dealing with. They might not speak to you about it. They might not tell you about it, but they're dealing with it. Guess what? When you're dealing with that, you need to pray. Go to your closet. It says when you close the door and you pray to him, what you do in secret, he'll reward you openly. See, what we don't understand sometimes is that when we repent, it covers the sin that we've done. Yes, we may have a consequence, but God may not expose us like he was if we would have been trying to act like we know it all. Lord, I realize that in some cases we don't always listen to you, but we thank God that he still has enough faith in us to push us towards the faith in us. Even though we might not be actively moving in that faith, he's still showing us you're not there, but you're going to get there. Which is why, once again, Hezekiah prayed in desperation. He said, Lord, I know you know all and see all. I know you look high and look low. I know that your word is bond and whatever you say is concrete. But Lord, don't forget that I'm your servant. And I have been faithful to you. Sometimes not only to God, but the people that God has us under or who we're moving with or over, we got to still remind people, listen, you can't just remember me for the negative things. Think about how much positive I've done. Think about how much suffering I went through. Think about how much dedication I put through. I didn't necessarily have to deal with it, but I did. He said, don't forget I've been faithful to you and I have obeyed you with all my heart and I do whatever you say is right. And after this, oh my God, when the dust settled, he cried bitterly. Because even though he was praying, he couldn't believe what was happening to him. Church, how many of us have received God-awful news? How many of us knew that we had no way to change the situation? And how many of us knew that only God was able to fix what was about to take place? In the same way, Hezekiah But although he used faith to pray for a different outcome, that still didn't change the fact that the residue from what God spoke still disturbed him. I mean, who wouldn't be shook by God saying, you're going to die, so get ready? This is devastating news, which is why Hezekiah cried. And if you're wondering, why is he preaching about death? We got a lot of people dying right now. We need to lift some people up. But he's not the only one who's cried. You have cried, and I have cried when we have lost our loved ones. I remember when I was about 16, my grandmother was dealing with a rare form of cancer. And the doctor gave her over to die because she was one of 5 people at that time who had been diagnosed with that form of cancer. I believe they gave her about 6 months to live. But as soon as we got the prognosis, we prayed that God would touch the hem of her garment so she would be made whole. We had a vision ourselves of how we thought it would happen. However, I have to tell you, Zion, it didn't happen how we had planned. But it took place in a different form and fashion. She isn't living now, but when she was living, her existence still defied the prognosis that the doctor gave. Because she lived another 2+ years on this earth, traveling to and fro. After the doctor said she could only last a few months. So faith did work in that situation. We got to stop judging situations based on how we want them to be. If you see the doctor telling her or him that they're only going to live for 7 months and they live for 8 months, you better recognize that extra month he gave you. Stop just getting mad because you didn't get an extra year, an extra couple of dollars on a paycheck. Some people don't even have that. My God. Although she wasn't healed in a way where she could live another 30 years or more, although she wasn't healed in that manner, I'm so thankful for the extra time our good God gave us. She was still healed. And I'm thankful that God gave us that time to spend with her, because he could have took her in 3 months. For what the devil meant for evil, God turned it around for our good. She didn't die when man said she would die. She didn't give up on God, because even in her worst point, she continued to love God with all her might. Which is why she, my God, is the greatest grandmother I have seen on my side of my family. Which is why I also believe, because of her faith, she has a special seat reserved in heaven among many other men, women, boys, and girls who have fought the good fight of faith. I'm also glad that she doesn't have to cry anymore. She doesn't have to ache anymore. She doesn't feel the pain anymore. And with that being said, I want you to know, Deidre, that even though it bothered our family that she was in that condition, our frustration didn't save her. But it was the love and faith that we used when we began to pray to God that lifted and extended my grandmother's life past what the doctor had said, past what the man had said. And it was the same faith that gave Hezekiah more time to live. When at first, in the beginning of the situation, God was about to stick a fork in it and call it done. You see, the reason why God changed his mind is because Hezekiah struck a nerve when he prayed. We got to know how to reach God. We got to know how to press in his presence. We got to know how to shake in his spirit.
We better know how to push.
What manner is it for us to help the people that help us when you got other people who need you, but you don't like them, so you don't want to help them? I guess y'all don't hear me, so I'm going to continue. Which is why the Lord sent Isaiah back to Hezekiah with this message. He said, Hezekiah, you are the ruler of my people, and I am the Lord God who was worshipped by your ancestor David. He said, I heard you pray, and I saw you cry. Therefore, my beloved son, I will heal you, so that 3 days from now, you will be able to worship in my temple. I will let you live 15, not 2, not 1, not 3, not 5, but 15 times 365, that's a whole lot of days. And he said, not only that, I'm going to protect you for 15 years from the king of Assyria. Somebody needs to know that God hears you, even though he has yet to respond to you. Somebody that has faith needs to tell somebody else that their breakthrough has just been released, because God is going to defend your honor for the work that you have so gracefully done in his name's sake. Especially since you had to do God's work in the midst of people who are nowhere near as dedicated as you. In the words of God through Prophet Kyle Miller, I want to touch and agree that in this year, God does not want his oxen, also known as servants, muzzled or suppressed. Which is why he's going to remove any obstacle that has been in the way. And when you give in to him, he is going to repay you for your devout services. Somebody say that serving God, it'll pay off after a while. I'm getting ready to let you know what's getting ready to come through quicker than you can expect. Which is the same reason he told Hezekiah the same thing. And Isaiah said to the king's servants, bring some mashed figs and place them on the king's open sword. He will then get well. Now watch this. They could have easily chosen